Have you ever met someone who seems to learn a new language incredibly fast? Maybe they can remember words easily, speak confidently after only a few months, and understand conversations that seem difficult to everyone else. Meanwhile, other learners study for years and still struggle to communicate. Why does this happen? Is it because some people are naturally talented, or are there specific habits and methods that make learning easier? Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we are going to explore this fascinating question. I am here with Emma, and together we will discuss why some people learn languages faster than others.
Hello, everyone. I am very happy to be here today. This is a topic that interests many language learners because almost everyone has compared themselves to another learner at some point. Sometimes we see someone making rapid progress and wonder what they are doing differently.
That is true. I think many learners become frustrated when they feel that their progress is slower than other people's progress. They spend hours studying grammar, memorizing vocabulary, and completing exercises, but they still feel stuck.
Yes, and sometimes that frustration can make people believe they are not good at languages. They start thinking that successful learners are simply born with special abilities. I used to think that as well. When I first started learning another language, I noticed that some people in my class could remember new words very quickly. They seemed comfortable speaking even when they made mistakes. I wondered if they had a natural gift that I did not have. That is a very common experience. However, when we look closely at successful language learners, we often discover that their habits are different. They may not be smarter, but they use their time differently and approach learning in a more effective way.
That is interesting. So you believe that habits are more important than talent?
In many cases, yes. Talent can help a little, but habits often have a much bigger impact. A learner who studies consistently for 30 minutes every day may improve faster than someone who studies for several hours only once a week.
Consistency seems to be a very important word when discussing language learning.
Absolutely. Language learning is not usually about one big effort. It is about many small efforts repeated over time. Every conversation, every new word, and every listening activity adds something valuable.
That reminds me of the famous idiom for today's episode. Practice makes perfect.
Exactly. Practice makes perfect means that the more you do something, the better you become at it. No one becomes fluent overnight. Improvement happens through regular practice. I like that idiom because it sounds simple, but it contains an important lesson. Many people search for secret methods, but sometimes the most effective solution is simply to keep practicing. I agree. Of course, practicing wisely is important too. Not all practice is equally useful. We will discuss that later in our conversation. Before we continue, I would like to ask you something. When you meet someone who learns languages quickly, what is the first thing you notice about them?
One thing I notice is curiosity. Fast learners are often curious people. They enjoy discovering new words, expressions, and cultural differences. Learning does not feel like a school assignment to them. It feels like an adventure. That is a wonderful way to describe it. An adventure sounds much more exciting than homework.
Exactly. When learners are genuinely interested in the language, they usually spend more time with it. They watch videos, listen to podcasts, read articles, and talk with people. They do these things because they enjoy them, not because someone tells them to. So motivation plays a major role? Definitely. Motivation gives learners energy during difficult moments. Every language learner faces challenges. There are confusing grammar rules, difficult pronunciations, and moments when progress feels slow. Motivation helps people continue despite those obstacles. That makes a lot of sense. I think many listeners will recognize themselves in this discussion. I hope so. It is important for learners to understand that struggling is normal. Even advanced speakers make mistakes. The difference is that successful learners do not allow mistakes to stop them. That is a powerful point. Many learners are afraid of making mistakes when speaking. Yes, and that fear can slow progress. Language is a tool for communication. If you wait until you are perfect, you may never start speaking confidently. That is very true. Sometimes we learn more from one conversation than from many pages of notes. Exactly. Real communication teaches lessons that textbooks cannot always teach. Today, we are going to explore
all these ideas in detail. We will talk about habits, motivation, confidence, practice methods, vocabulary learning, listening skills, and much more. And we will also share practical tips that listeners can start using immediately in their own language learning journey.
After everything we discussed today, it seems clear that learning languages faster is not only about talent. It is more about habits, consistency, curiosity, and the willingness to communicate, even when mistakes happen.
I completely agree. Many successful learners are not necessarily the smartest people in the room. They simply keep showing up every day. They practice regularly, listen carefully, and stay patient with the process.
We also learned that motivation is important, but habits are even more reliable. Motivation can come and go, but strong habits help you continue learning even when you do not feel excited.
That is a great point. We talked about listening, speaking, reading, and vocabulary building. All of these skills improve when learners spend time with the language consistently.
And let's not forget today's idiom: practice makes perfect.
Exactly. Every conversation, every new word, and every small effort brings you one step closer to fluency.
If you are learning English or any other language, do not compare your progress to someone else's progress. Everyone learns at a different speed.
Focus on your own journey, celebrate small improvements, and keep moving forward.
Before we finish, we would love to hear from you. What is your biggest challenge when learning English? Is it speaking, listening, grammar, pronunciation, or vocabulary?
Please write your answer in the comments. We enjoy reading your experiences and learning about your language journey.
And if you enjoyed today's conversation, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with a friend who is learning English.
Thank you so much for spending your time with us today.
We hope this episode gave you useful ideas and encouragement.
Keep learning, keep practicing, and keep believing in yourself.
Thank you everyone for listening.
See you in the next episode.
Goodbye everyone.
Bye!